Hi guys. Well, I got next one in the row going. This is what they call a space saver one. Instead of a real long, most of the time they come out, then they have a straight shaft like this, but then this is down at, this thing is down at the other end. But this loops back, so they call it a space saver engine. Yeah, I know this is a little bit loose, but every time you tighten it up, that up, it doesn't like that. So let it be loose. It don't make any difference. And it's running on about 10 pounds. This one likes a little bit more pressure than the other one. Oh, looks like it needs a little oil in there. It's got enough oil. Isn't that wild? Thought you'd like to see it run. We'll see you later. It's nighttime. I was working on it at night. Can't do anything else. Got off the confuser. Are you getting sleepy? Or you are getting sleepy. We'll see you. Bye-bye. Well, there's the first one we got going, guys. And this is the one we got going. There's a separate movie on that one. There's a mill engine. Here's one that runs a generator. Here's one that runs nothing. There's one over there that a bolt came out of the crankshaft. I got to put it back in. Where the connecting bolt. It's the bolt like right here. And that one stopped running. It was running for a while. That's pretty neat watching that go. That would pump all the condensate. All these have condensate lines or drain lines to go in there and then go in there and pump out onto the ground. I have to do another video. There's not going to be much in the video, and it's hard getting these things going because that one's going too fast, so you start slowing that down, giving less air to it, and then the other ones start to pick up. So a little bit too much. And this one's going too fast. This one here's got a bolt coming out of it, see it? Push it back in. I got to put a nut on it. I got them in the parts department. Wish I had more light back here. Might have to fix the light bulb back here so you can see it. These have not been run in 19 years. This is the first time in 19 years they've been run. The whistle used to blow. I guess it's not in the middle of it. I used to tie the chain. See, there's a chain here. Whoops, other way around. Used to have another chain, but it went down and I'd tie it onto this thing here, so every time this engine would go, it'd blow the whistle every time. It's a pretty high-pitched little whistle. That whistle there goes on this boiler here. This is a Babcock 504. It's a pretty sought-after boiler in the steam engine stuff. I don't know if these, yeah, they still turn. I'm going to turn it off and put a bunch of oil in here and a bunch of oil in there, and hopefully it'll get out to the, without the steam you don't get oil to the inside of the motor, so it's not really good to run them on air unless you can get some oil in there. I might take that one off next. I think that one's a pretty easy fix. And go in there. See, this bolt's already, can you see it? It's already just about out. Push it back in and it'll just, every time it clicks it just wobbles itself right out. I ought to put it in the other direction. Maybe it stay tight. Pretty neat. That's probably going to be out all the show for tonight because it's raining. This one here I got to get running. This is a Worthington duplex pump, it's always been kind of a bear. It never liked to run. So I'm going to get, that one's pretty important. That's a pretty valuable engine. This one here is pretty valuable. That one's valuable. That one's ain't got a bad price. To give you an idea, one like that's $300. That's about a $500 engine. This is about a $600. That's about a $600. That's about a $300. Those sell for about $200. So that kind of gives you. These are selling for. You can pick them up for about $400. That's probably about $800 right there. And then all these little valves now. I forget what these valves. I looked them up. I think they're running about 20 bucks a piece for, so there's 20, 40, 60, 80, and these displacement lubricators, if you buy them new, are running around 50 bucks. Little union, well, even these little pipe threads, pipe fittings. See, all these got real pipe fittings here. That's all model pipe thread. So I wish that one would get going. It's always been kind of temperamental. Probably just got to run that little screw in there. Almost. I can hear it losing steam. It wants to go. It's a pretty fancy little motor. It might just be tight inside. I gotta get my light bulb fixed, guys. It needs a ballast in it. I got ballast, just don't feel like doing it. That's generating electricity, but I don't have any light bulbs in there, I guess. I don't know if I put one of them light bulbs in there, I can't get it out. That's probably why they're not in there. That's the Lionel little light tower. Then I got, I don't know if you saw in that box the other day, I had a micro switch. I was going to put a micro switch on that so every time it came in and did a pump that it would light a red light up there. Now that things have changed, I might switch those to LED because they take less current. That doesn't make a whole lot of current going that slow. And I never seen one that, I never had it. Most of them, they just show a little flat belt running them. That's a chain. Can you see that little chain? That's what's running that back there, because the flat belts, they always just slipped. Anyway, hope you like them. This boiler, I think I said in the show the other night, I realized that it wasn't going to be safe enough to run, so I just discontinued it. But it's got machine. I'd made this front cover and then drilled all these holes, and it's recessed and all sorts of stuff. But you know, you're talking a serious explosion, so with steam. So I just stayed away from it. I don't. This might be able to run a couple of them at a time. Well, I'm sure it can. It could probably run about 3 engines at a time, as long as you can get them slow. And I might do that. Hook it up. I could put that engine over here, but you can't run it in the house. You can't have all the fumes going into the house. Set off the smoke detectors. I was hoping that would come back. It's thinking about it. I could probably boost the air to it. I see there's a little air leak down here. You got to soap, when you take them out and put them on the table, you soap them up and see where the air leaks are and fix all the little air leaks. Well, I hope you liked it. Leave me a comment below which one you like best. Crazy as it sounds, this one here, well, they're all my favorites. This one, and this one were my favorites. That's why they're in the front row. But this one here, you can zoom that thing, and you hear the other one speed up when this one shuts off. This thing will run. You could probably just huff and puff, and that's why I got the needle with a syringe. Sometimes I use that. Sometimes I just dump the oil on them. I guess you can't see that. now I don't know if you can see it's starting to get shiny down in here where it's picking that up. Probably put a drop on there, wouldn't hurt. Probably time to oil this one. That's all you do at the show is oil them. That's why they get all dirty, but they work. If you got a toy steam engine, it should be working. All right, that concludes the show. And then I got an individual show of this one here. We'll see you a little bit later. That's probably about all it's going to be here tonight, though. We'll see you. Bye-bye. Hi, guys. Back again. I'll throw this on tonight, too. A little Worthington. Had to take it all apart. Clean it up. Put it back together. Clean the dirty oil on it. And it just needs to sit here and run for a while. I have the head off of it, too. I had both heads off of it. I had the valves off of it. Everything's working fine. To kind of let you know how small these bolts are, I don't know if you can read that. That's 3/16. That's what these are. They might be a different size because I got a feel. Well, I don't know. I think this was made in America by Cole. I mean, I know it came from Cole's, but the bolts that are inside of there holding the piston in, I don't know if you can read this one or not. I think it says 5/32 or 6/32. No, it wouldn't say 5/32. I think that's what it says. But look at that thing. Now, this thing here, when you have like a steam train or a steam train, they have 2 cylinders on them. And they fire at 90 degrees off. That's why you see them firing. And it also powers up and back. So if they're 90 degrees off, there's always one on fire, so it'll start on its own. So if I stop this, it should start on its own. I can give it more air. She's running on, I don't know, maybe 20. So every time a locomotive's got, the cylinder on each side, so it'll start up. If you have a single cylinder, like most of those engines that are in there, if it's on top dead center or bottom dead center, a lot of times it won't go. You just got to give it a little bit of push. Ain't that something? Have to go get the boss down here. She was kind of interested in these because she wants me to sell them, that's why. But I'll put the head on first. And it pumps. When I put my finger on it, you can hear the valve going. Hear it trying to... This one here sounds a little off. But everything's brass, so it couldn't rust up. Except for the shafts. See how slow I can get it to go. I don't know where the noise is. That's the exhaust. You guys can't hear it, but it's going ch. Maybe I can get it to go a little slower. That's a good running motor now. It's just thinking about it. Yeah, we'll give it a little more. Yeah, I wish you could hear the exhaust. Sounds like a choo-choo train. Alright, that's one of my favorites. We'll see you in a bit. Bye-bye. Follow-up. Can you see it pumping? I put a little bit of oil in there and it's pumping it out the top. It's already shot it all the way across here when I first put it in. You can hear it a little bit better now. Sounds like a horse galloping. Alright, we'll see you. still running. Been running for about an hour. You're on my selfie stick, hand selfie stick. If you want to see, I have a couple big engines that I think about 7 years ago I put them on YouTube. And I think if you go to Fricknjeeps steam engine collection, part 1 and part 2. Part 1, my wife was doing the video because that's when she kind of started pushing on selling stuff. And anyhow, we were doing a video of it, and we don't know cameras and stuff, and 7 years ago we knew even less. Anyhow, she thought she could take the picture up and down and then turn it sideways. That's why it's all crooked. And then part 2 was basically the same thing, showing the engines but in the right direction. So just turn your computer 90 degrees and it'll be fine. So anyhow, that's gonna be it for tonight. I'm gonna put this engine back in on the table and pipe it all back up. Maybe tonight, maybe tomorrow. I'll bring another engine out that's one of the ones in the back. They're kind of hard to get to in that table and get them going. So anyhow, that's where it's at. Do me a favor, hit the like button, subscribe. Tell me which engine so far you like the best, and maybe I'll change that ballast in that light so we can get a better picture of those engines in the back. So it's pretty sticky out here. We got quite a bit of rain yesterday. I don't know, maybe a ½ inch last night, and so I'm not doing anything outside. So we'll see you later. Bye. Click, 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 click.